Hello everyone. Today for my persuasive speech, I decided to do animal testing. Animal testing should be abolished, and I'm going to name a few companies that do practice animal testing in their facilities. AccuView, Clairol, Clean and Clear, Coach, Dove, Everclear, Febreze, La Mer, Mary Kay, MAC Cosmetics, Maybelline, Nair, and Neutrogena. And now I'm going to name some companies that do not practice animal testing within their facilities. Abercrombie & Fitch, Advanced Beauty Tools, Afterglow Cosmetics, Ageless Fantasy, Alouette Cosmetics, Aroma Naturals, and Beauty Naturally. There are a number of reasons why animal testing should be completely abolished, but I'm only going to talk about specifically 3 of those things. And the first thing is that the animal testing does not always work the way the scientists want them to. The second thing is that the companies are known to be inhumane to the animals. And the third thing is that there are other methods that do not cost as much as animal testing. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is that they do not work. Since animals and humans are completely genetically different, the tests do not always turn out how they want. For instance, a rabbit's eye is completely different than a human's eye. So something that could be good for a rabbit is bad for a human, or something that's bad for a human is good for a rabbit. So it just completely depends, and it's proving that those tests cannot be accurate all the time. A former scientist from Huntington Life Sciences revealed that animal tests and human results only agree 5% to 25% of the time. And that's just another example of what I just said. And some experimenters said we would have been better off to have tossed a coin. And that describes the chances that the tests will match up. So there is other things that you can do besides animal testing that's better. The companies are known to be inhumane to the animals. They are not good to the animals because they do so many different things to them. It says on here that they are burnt, sliced, electrocuted, crushed, poisoned with toxic chemicals, and psychologically tormented. So that is being very inhumane to me, and I would not like that being done to me, so I don't want that being done to the animals. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of why they are inhumane to animals. So the first one is that in order to study some results for head trauma, primates were strapped down to receive heavy blows to the head, and they ended up having severe brain damage. That's extremely wrong, and I don't think that it should be done in any case, no matter what. No matter what, because that's just extremely wrong. And then another one is that in order to study the effects of burns, flamethrowers burned pigs alive until their flesh could be pulled off in large chunks. Again, that's extremely wrong and shouldn't be done. Also, over the years, researchers have provided statistics that show how cruel animal testing really is, and I'm going to read you those as well. 50% of animals used in cosmetic testing die within 2 to 3 weeks after they go through the experiments. So, of course, that's really wrong, and these animals are bred to be specifically for this researching, so they don't even know what life is like outside of the laboratory. I mean, they get put in boxes with 12, say a mouse. They get put in a box with 12 other mice, and they're just laying in each other's feces and everything else. That's just really gross, and I don't think that any creature deserves to be treated like that. Here's a quote, and it says that there is an estimation of 70 million animals in the United States that are crippled, scalded, blinded, force-fed harmful solutions, genetically manipulated, and hurt by institutions, household products, and cosmetic companies, government agencies, educational institutions, and scientific centers. And about 1 million animals have been used for testing in the United States, but this does not include the 25 million birds, fish, mice, and rats that were used for testing as well. If you just look up animal testing and see some of the pictures, it's just gruesome, and I hope that you would agree with me on this stuff. There are the other methods of testing that do not cost as much. This is the third reason that I was talking about. Other methods do not cost as much, which is why they should be done instead of the animal testing. As stated before, humans and non-human animals are extremely different, so the tests do not always turn out the same. Therefore, human skin cells and modern computerized programs of humans have been proven to show more accurate results. So if we can get, I mean, it's 2012, it's much more modern and now, and we have computer generalized robots and human computer stuff and everything, and it's been proven that there can be those tests on there. And they're also more time sufficient and more money sufficient. These alternative tests do not cost as much as animal tests. Tests on rodents can take up to 5 years and cost up to $4 million, but in vitro screening, which is a modernized test now, takes only about a week and less than half of the cost. The laboratories have to spend money to buy the animals, and then they have to spend money to upkeep the animals in the lab, when alternative tests do not have these costs. So all of these costs add up, and taxpayers are actually paying that money. And so if we just use the normal or the up-to-date testing, it would save us money and it would save us time for more research and everything else, and it would not be so inhumane to animals. So it's just obvious that we should completely abolish animal testing. So with these 3 reasons, I really hope that you would agree with me. And just like I said, if you go and you look up animal testing, it just shows some pictures that are just that I can barely even look at. It's so wrong. I'm going to read you a few quotes before I finish here. And the first one is the founder of the Mayo Clinic, Dr. Charles Mayo, has said, "I abhor vivisection. It should at least be curbed. Better, it should be abolished. I know of no achievement through vivisection, no scientific discovery that could not have been obtained without such barbarism and cruelty. The whole thing is evil." And vivisection basically is just cutting an animal open with them being alive or something like that. Torturing an animal. Torturing an animal is just wrong, because they're just like us. They have feelings, and they can receive pain. Mahatma Gandhi has said, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Vivisection is the blackest of all crimes that man is at present committing against God and his fair creation." And the last quote that I'm going to read you is by Moby, and he said, "If you don't want to be beaten, imprisoned, mutilated, killed, or tortured, then you shouldn't condone such behavior towards anyone, be they human or not." So these quotes just show exactly what I'm telling you, that animal testing should be abolished, and I really hope that you agree with me. Thanks.